الحمد لله الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون صدق الله مولانا العظيم. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His infinite mercy, love and affection has been very kind to us in that we are able to be part of this month of Ramadan. And Ramadan in itself, when you are part of it, one is the blessedness of Friday, the other is the blessedness of Ramadan. And Ramadan within itself also has certain parts that are even more greater. And amongst those is the first 10 days of Ramadan, which is known as the days of Rahmah. Meaning that these are the days in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending out and showering greater levels of mercy than He would do in other parts of this given month. And we know as far as Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is concerned, Allah makes mention, Rahmatan lil Alameen. He is the mercy to humanity. Allah in Himself, with Surah Fatiha says, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, that I am filled with compassion, love and mercy. That is a sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is mercy. You have Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that is mercy. And you have this month that has in it the first 10 days that is filled with mercy. Yet, we learn from this hadith something very important, that this month will come and this month will go and we will not attain mercy. How is it such? Allah is mercy, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mercy. We claim to be very, very merciful, yet we will not attain mercy. This month will go and we will go back to our wretched old ways. And the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is bringing something very important to the forefront, that there are certain things we have to do. Just like, for example, if you go to a doctor's visit, there are certain things you have to do. You go visit an attorney, there are certain things you have to do. You put in your computer right, there are certain things you have to do. This month also demands that we will do something and abstain from things that Allah wishes for us to abstain from. Yes, we understand the aspect of food. We understand the aspect of drink. We understand the aspect of letting go of certain relationships. But one thing we have not understood, and that is why the Rasul ﷺ says, another very important thing for us to abstain from is bad manners. Because it comes in the hadith of Rasul ﷺ that if we do not let go of these bad manners, whatever bad manners may be, everyone has their own fault. Everyone has issues that they are going to be haunted by. Some it may be anger, some it may be lying, some it may be cheating, some it may be drinking, whatever it is. There are certain things that every individual will be haunted by till the day they die. And the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, you have to figure out what is the thing that you are abusing and how you're going to use that negative energy in going in the right direction by turning that negative energy into that which is positive to make ourselves into better people. The second part of the month, one is Rahmah, and the second 10 days is filled, and now we are entering in the second 10 days of course, which is supposed to be filled with asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Now regarding the first one, the first 10 days, there are certain things we must repeat more than the other 10 days, especially after we are done inshallah reciting the Quran. It comes in the Quran, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. We agree that this is the month of the Quran. So once we are done reading the Quran, then there's another thing that we must try to recite and read over and over, which is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum bi rahmatika astaghith. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum Birahmatika Astaghith. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum Birahmatika Astaghith. This is something that we recite as much as we can. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum Birahmatika Astaghith. That means, oh Allah, you are the all-living, you are the all-strong. There is nothing like you. You are for forever and you will remain forever. Ya Hayyu, the all-living, the all-sustaining, the all-compassionate, the all-merciful. He's in all the aspects of living. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum. I'm repeating this over and over. So those of you that can memorize it, inshallah, you will do so. Birahmatika Astaghith. It is with your mercy, it is with your eternal aspects that I am seeking mercy from you. That means I'm not just seeking mercy from Allah, I'm acknowledging that because of your mercy and your aspects of being eternal and forever, in those given qualities, I'm asking you for forgiveness. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum Birahmatika Astaghith. Our first 10 days will be up very soon, so let us make the best of it, inshallah, as we can before we enter, inshallah, the next 10 days. Thereafter, the next 10 days is filled with forgiveness. And there are many hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that make mention that there are people that I'm willing to forgive, but they don't want my forgiveness. Just like many hadiths say, there are many people I want to shower my mercy upon. I want to give my mercy, but they don't want my mercy because of the choices we make. We don't want that mercy. We say we want it, but in what they say, actions speak louder than words. So our action is not showing we want that mercy. Yes, we want others to be merciful to others. We want others to be merciful to us. We want our families to be good to us. The question is, has our relationship in the first 10 days changed? The first 10 days that we are part of, is it like the last 10 days of the previous month? If it is like the last 10 days of the previous month, then what was the first 10 days all about? It just came and is gone. We had our nice iftar and we are moving on. So therefore, to make that a reality, we have to remember, number one, the first 10 days has mercy, and we have to repeat, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum. It's a sifat of Allah to make our relationship with Allah stronger, and thereafter say, Birahmatika Astaghith, to beg Allah for the mercy and start doing things that are merciful, that gets the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. Now the second 10 days, as I repeated over and over, is forgiveness from Allah, and the most and the best thing we can read is Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah, where we say, oh Allah, I seek your forgiveness. Now many people will say, well, why do I need to say this? I had a brother that told me this a long time ago. He says, why do I need to make astaghfirullah? I cannot remember myself making a sin. I said, the fact that you're telling me you cannot remember making a sin is a sin in itself. He says, what, you're making fun of me? I said, I'm not making fun of you. I'm telling you that you must say astaghfirullah. You are telling me I cannot remember making a sin, and I'm telling you from hadith and Quran that when a person says that he has not committed a sin, that in itself is a sin. Because as humans, we are going to make sin. We're going to get up maybe a little late for Fajr Salah. We may skip the Sunnah of Fajr Salah. We may not read 6 rakats after Maghrib and just read maybe 2 rakats and run away. Although it may not be a sin, but if a person has the time to read 6, by all means they should try and do it. Because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to some hadith, 8 years to 12 years he read 6 rakats after the Maghrib Salah. 6 rakats is known as the awabin. So there are many things that we do that we should try and seek forgiveness from. The sin in astaghfirullah also means something else. It means also that even if a person has not sinned or they feel they have not sinned, the sin is implying, oh Allah, I'm seeking your protection from sins in the future. Very important. That is why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make and say astaghfirullah, not because he sinned, but when prophets say astaghfirullah, it actually means, oh Allah, continue to protect me in the future. Continue to protect me in the future as you have protected me in the present and the past. So again, the second 10 days, Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. This is something we should recite over and over in the second 10 days. And thereafter the hadith says, as far as the last 10 days are concerned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ready to emancipate us from the fire of Jahannam. That means there are people that are destined for the fire because of things they may have done, wrongs they may have committed, whatever it may be. Every individual knows what they have done or others have done. So therefore, in the last 10 days now that we have the mercy of Allah, number one, we've asked Allah for forgiveness, number two, we are now saying in the last 10 days, Allahumma ajirna minan nar. Allahumma ajirna minan nar. Allahumma ajirna minan nar. Oh Allah, save me from the blazing fire of hell. And once a person does these three du'as, you will notice, if you are consistent in this. For example, the first one, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum bi rahmatik astaghith. The second one, Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. And the third one, Allahumma ajirna minan nar. As we repeat these things in the specific 10 days, my brothers and sisters, rest assured, you will notice a difference not only in your Ramadan, you will also notice the difference in the months that will come after the month of Ramadan as well. So what are the other things that we can do as we inshallah ready ourselves for this cleansing? There are certain things we have to take part in, and let us do a simple hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we have talked about, and I'll share with you right now again. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala narrates that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was known as the most generous of individuals. Now we know the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sometimes he'll be wearing a shawl, sometimes he'll be wearing a hat, he'll be wearing something, and people will come and say, Ya Rasulullah, I want that. And many times, in fact, you study the hadith, he would just give it to them. Ya Rasulullah, I want that. He would give it. In fact, it comes in a hadith that Aisha radiallahu ta'ala an, there were times in which she will have resources, let's say in the morning. By the time the evening comes, that resource is gone, whether it was money, whether it was food, whatever it was. And by the time the night comes, they will be once again with no food or anything else in the house. Imagine, we're talking of the house of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So not only was he generous, he made those around him generous as well. And in today's time, we demand generosity from others. And if they are not generous, we say you are not generous. We forget what we are doing and not doing. So here it comes in a hadith of Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala. He says, as far as the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was concerned, he was the most generous of people. And he used to be even more generous in the month of Ramadan, when Jibreel used to meet him every night of Ramadan and study and recite the Quran to him. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam would make dua at that point, not only for himself, but for the ummah, and he would say, oh Allah, grant them success. Oh Allah, grant them mercy. Oh Allah, make it easy for them. So generosity is on two levels. One is on what we can give, as we know from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. But the other form of generosity is wishing people well. You know, there was a kid, and I mentioned this many times. I asked him 1-2 questions, and this is what he said. And I want you to remember what he said, because you may forget everything else I said today, but you'll remember what he said. This is what he said. He said, Imam, mean people suck. What he said? Yes. Young boy. What he said? Mean people suck. That's what he said. And that basically tells exactly the direction that we are moving in as a people. If young people are telling us that this is what they feel our society is part of. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very generous. In the month of Ramadan, even more generous. And one of the ways of his generosity was what? He would wish people a greater level of wealth. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala narrates that when the last 10 days of Ramadan came by, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam would spend the night in worship. He would wake up his family and he would strive in worship more than any other months. Now, my brothers and sisters, this is a little bit of a touchy subject. How can we get our families up if we ourselves don't get up? How can we help our families remember Allah when we ourselves are not remembering Allah? How can we help our families make dua at the time of iftar when we are begging our families for food, food and more food, knowing full well we have never starved in our lives? It doesn't make sense. So therefore it starts right now. How does it start? Number one, the salah will be taking place. We will be going out. We start with wishing people well. Number one, the best way to wish people well is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Number one, meeting people with a smile, or at least greeting them. Now, Assalamu alaikum doesn't mean running and shaking their hands and hugging them and kissing them and all that. No, it doesn't have to be that. Some people you just don't want to do that with anyway. So, and especially nowadays, one brother was saying, I find it hard to hug people in Ramadan because my breath stinks. And the hadith says it very beautifully, that our breath in the month of Ramadan is more loved by Allah and the angels than the fragrance of musk. Our breath is more loved by the angels and by Allah than the fragrance of musk. So this should motivate us, that why are we fasting? We are fasting for Allah. And if we are fasting for Allah, and Allah is saying this to us, then we should be proud of our condition. Now, it doesn't mean that you go and breathe on people. That is something else altogether, of course. So having said that, after salah, we start with the greeting. Number one. After salah, we start with a happy face, smiling, inshallah. We start with a positive statement. Rasulullah, by the way, used to do this in the month of Ramadan more than all the other months. Then as we sit in our car, we read this over and over. Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, bi rahmatika astaghith. Astaghfirullah Rabbi, min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. Allahumma ajirna minan nar. Just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. When you get tired repeating that, then you go into Quran. And whatever surahs you know, you read that, you read that. You know Ayatul Kursi, you read that. You know the last 10 surahs, you read that. In fact, I know as a child, when I was going to certain uncles' homes, I remember, when we would sit from one point to another, we have a contest in the car. Who can read more surahs? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have to memorize the whole Quran. Whatever you know, you do it. And you create this in your family. You create this in the car. I'll read the first 10 surahs. You read the last 10 surahs. You read Ayatul Kursi. You read 10 times. I will read 10 times this. You read 10 times that. My brothers and sisters, once we did that, we will realize the benefit of this month and the beauty that this month has in store for us. And when the month leaves, thereafter, inshallah, we will be cleansed. As the hadith of Rasulullah says, there is a door in Jannah that is known as Rayyan. Those who used to fast in the month of Ramadan will enter through this door. Now you will say we all are fasting. My brothers, trust me, we all are not fasting here. I know for a fact, because every year I get this. I used to not eat, but I used to not fast. Brother, why you used to not fast and not eat? How can you not fast and not eat? Well, I had this fear in case I get very hungry, I can at least go and eat because I know I'm not fasting. So did you eat? No, I never ate. This is the problem we have with our brothers and sisters. So the hadith of Rasulullah says something very, very beautiful, that there is a special door in Jannah known as Rayyan. And those that were fasting, they will be able to enter through this door. And none will enter this door except those that took fasting very, very seriously. And an announcement to you will be made on the day of Qiyamah. Where are those that fasted? Where are those that used to take fasting seriously? And the doors, that given door will be opened for them, and they'll be said, this is the door you can go through. So my brothers and sisters, The benefit of fasting is not only in this world. I was speaking to a doctor the other day. I don't know if he's here, I don't see him. Maybe he comes a little late sometimes. And he says researchers have shown that people that fast, they also reduce the level of cancer cells in the body. Imagine, people that fast, they have a reduced chance, according to him, of even having cancer. And those that do have it, their cells get reduced. Now imagine for a moment, if we fast 2 days a week, you fast in the middle of every month, and you fast Ramadan, and you fast the fast Sitta min Shawwal, the fast after Ramadan, technically you'll be fasting 33% of the year on an average. My brothers, imagine 33% less eating, 66% more love from your wife, because you're not bugging her now for food, alhamdulillah. Also, a greater amount of reduction in as far as environmental pollution is concerned. You meet many brothers, by the way, that I meet in the month of Ramadan. They say, I'm fasting, but I feel energized. I don't know how come I feel more energized. Obviously, you have less junk in your body, and you have good stuff in your body, so you are going to feel energized. So you feel more energized, you feel more focused, you stay away from more haram, you talk less garbage, you eat and you reduce the taking out of garbage from your body. It's a win-win situation all round. So now you wonder, why is the door of Rayyan open for the one that fasts? Obviously because we are living in a win-win situation. So alhamdulillah, now as we enter again, I'm repeating over and over purposely, so this way we can memorize, inshallah, for the next 10 days. Try to say, Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. And inshallah, by saying it and by being sincere about it, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us become not only changed individuals, but will give us, inshallah, the blessedness of this given month. Tonight, inshallah, Shaykh Maulana Mu'min will be reciting Surah Yusuf, and I hope that you can be here for that, for the Taraweeh, inshallah. Taraweeh time starts approximately at 10:45. The next time change will be when? Tomorrow. What time will that be? 10:50, inshallah. Tomorrow will be the Taraweeh. Sadaqatul Fitr is approximately $10. By all means, try to give it yourself first and foremost to poor people that you are aware of, wherever they may be. Number one. If you cannot find poor people to give it to, then by all means you can give it to the masjid. Please, please, for Allah's sake, write. There's envelopes there that has fitrah on it. If you are putting it in your own envelope, please make sure you write fitrah on it, inshallah. Also, there is a request to make dua for a brother who's quite very sick. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for him. And also there's a wonderful individual in our community that has a grandchild. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this child not only in this month, but continually as well. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.